Self-compassion starts with self-kindness. Number two, self-compassion is also something we call common humanity. What is common humanity? What does that mean? Common humanity means that I'm not alone, right? That this pain, this suffering, this mistake is a mistake because I'm human, and it's okay to make mistakes, right? I'm okay to make a mistake. I'm not a mistake. I made a mistake, and that's okay. Self-compassion is common humanity, knowing that it's okay. I give myself permission to be human. I'm going to make mistakes, and that's okay. So you remember that story I shared earlier about the first tee? Instead of putting all this pressure on myself to perform with excellence, to look good, to impress, it was not okay to make a mistake. That wasn't allowed. I had to look good, right? I can't make a mistake. So that pressure that I felt, imagine if I had self-compassion going to the first tee and I focused on being my own best friend, walking up there, feeling all the nerves, giving myself allowance and permission to make mistakes. Imagine how different that experience might have been. I might have not experienced that anxiety, all that pressure, just giving myself permission. Before I step up, I give myself permission to make mistakes, right? That's number two, common humanity. It's okay to be human. And number three is mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Well, sometimes when we have a thought or a mistake, we over-identify with it, right? Instead of being mindful that a thought is just a thought. It's not necessarily who we are, but we're just thinking this thought. Let me give you an example. So I did a presentation, and I was in front of all these people, and I prepared a lot for this presentation. And my opening remarks to this presentation was to crack a joke. And so I've done a lot of different presentations, and I was practicing this on opening up with a joke. And so I delivered it, I practiced it many times, and every time I practiced it, I did really well. And people were laughing and say, that's a good one. So the day of the event, right? Think about tournament mindset. So the day of the event, I prepare, there's a whole bunch of people, I'm getting nervous, and I completely missed my timing on that joke. And it completely flopped. It was terrible. The whole joke didn't even make sense. Nobody in the crowd was laughing. I missed my punchline, and it was like crickets. Can you imagine how embarrassed I was? I was thinking, what in the world? I started to over-identify with it. So I went through the presentation, I finished, and at the end of this, I started saying, I suck at presenting. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible trainer. I'm a terrible coach. Oh my gosh, like I'm a terrible father. I'm a terrible golfer. It has nothing to do with golf. I started making a snowball effect and over generalizing, over identifying with this one mistake. Mindfulness is about, okay, here and now, I messed up on the punchline, which kind of threw me off, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm a terrible presenter. It doesn't mean I'm a terrible person. I just made this mistake. So here's an exercise. Remember, we started off our conversation with challenge and things that were really maybe difficult for us these days, right? We talked about attitude. We talked about balancing all these different things and the stress that we're feeling. We're talking about listening. We brought up really good points. I'm gonna walk you all through an exercise, and it's called we'll call it a self-compassion break, giving yourself a break. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I want everyone to kind of start off with a couple deep breaths. And in our academy, we teach different breathing patterns, like circle breathing, but this time, I just want you to breathe. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable, but I want you to get inside your breath inside your body. And just take some deep breaths. Okay? Good. Just notice your breath. Notice the air going inside your body. And then notice the breath leaving and exiting your body. Just notice it. Be aware of it. Now, I'm going to walk you through a self-compassion break exercise. And we're going to call up these things that we just talked about regarding self-compassion. So if you want, you can close your eyes, or you can keep them open and just listen and follow my lead. So I want you to think about a time in your life that is challenging, that's difficult, and it's causing you stress. Okay? Now I want you to bring that situation. I want that feeling to come to mind. Bring it up for you and see if you can actually feel it. See if you can actually feel the stress and maybe like the emotional discomfort in your body. Whatever it is, just call it to the surface. Good. Now say to yourself, and you can say this out loud to yourself, or you can just say it silently in your head. This is a moment of suffering. Just silently say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering, thinking about that stress you're feeling. Okay, other phrases you can use is, ouch, oh, this hurts. Or, this is stress. This is painful. Good. Now I want you to say to yourself, suffering is a part of life. This stress that I'm feeling is a part of life. Right? Maybe other options, you can also say, I'm not alone. Or other people feel this way. I'm not alone. Or maybe we're all struggling in our lives. Nice, and just feel that. Feel the humanness. Now, I want you to place your hand or both your hands over your heart. Find your heart. Just place your hands over your heart. And I want you to literally try to feel the warmth of your hands. Feel the temperature as it places over your heart. And the gentle touch of your hands on your chest. Just feel that contact and what it feels like. And I want you to say to yourself, may I be kind to myself. May I be kind to myself. Maybe you might say, may I be patient with myself. Whatever it is that you're going through, maybe say to yourself, may I be patient, or may I be gentle with myself. Maybe some of you need to say to yourself, may I forgive myself. May I forgive myself. Some of you might need to hear, may I learn to accept myself as I am. May I learn to accept myself as I am. May I be strong. May I be strong. Just stay here for a moment. Stay with this feeling. Take some deep breaths in and a deep breath out. And I'm going to slowly bring you guys back to this room. All right. What was that experience like for you?